Okay, YouTube, here we are. Day 2, video 2. Nick Wallenberg here. If you want to know what this is all about, watch my first video. But yeah, we're going in. Day 2, video 2 out of 100. Now, okay, cat coming in hot. Yeah, so I figured today, yes, in last video, I kind of brushed over the fact that I went to this college for music for 5 years and that I ended up like a credit short. And I thought today would be a good time to kind of give you that story and what happened and kind of how it relates to where I'm at now. My origin story, if you will. My sad origin story, but here we go. I hope you'll enjoy it. I like listening to stories, mundane stories like these. So, okay, it's 2012. That's my senior year of high school. And for me, high school is the easiest possible thing. In terms of, I mean, there's all the social things, those are always hard, but in terms of functioning and getting grades and doing schoolwork, easy. I remembering back, I want to say I hardly even tried. Most of the homework I was able to do in the class as the teacher was explaining it to everyone. Not trying to brag, I'm just one of those people where school was very, very easy for me. It presented almost no challenge. About the only thing that really interested me at that time was music. I mean, I was in the band. I was a leader in the band. I was perennially the first chair trumpet. And honestly, I didn't even try too hard at that. And it just all kind of came naturally. Kind of your classic, I'm the big fish in a small pond. I went to a high school in a small town in Iowa. Small town being 8,000 people. That's small relative to some places, but there are some definitely smaller places. But yeah, small town Iowa. I'm the big dog when it comes to music, and I mean I wasn't very popular socially, so I'm not that kind of big dog. But in terms of music, I was the guy, and so my family had I had a very traditional upbringing. Nothing to complain about in my childhood, but both my parents went to college and graduated, and so this all contributes to the mindset I have of I've got no worries. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go to college. Music's what I'm interested in. It'll be fine. Don't really know what I want to do, but that's fine. I'll figure it all out later. It'll be easy. If high school was this easy, college could be 3 times as hard, and I still wouldn't have to try. So I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. I'll just graduate from college, get a job somewhere, and we'll be rolling. Figure it out on the fly. And that kind of worked out for a while. I got some scholarships, went to college, went to Truman State University in Missouri, Kirksville, Missouri. Another smaller town, but pretty decent music program. The trumpet teacher was fantastic. And for the first year or so, everything played out pretty much exactly as I thought. It was easy. I was rolling once again, rolling through my classes. I had a 4.0. I wasn't the top dog in the ensembles. I was starting to hit a spot where I was actually challenged a little bit, so I actually did have to try in those ensembles to hold my own, but I managed to do so. And for the first 2 years of college or so, I'd say I put a decent amount of effort in. I practiced regularly. I kept up with my homework. I did everything perfect, and my playing improved. My trumpet playing improved. Everything was going great. And by the way, at this point, the program I was in was supposed to be a 5-year program called the MAE. It was a special Truman did where you do 5 years, but you end up with a master's and Master of Arts in Education, the MAE. And so the path from there was to pretty much just be a band director and then maybe traverse up to there to college professor of band. And I was like, yeah, sure, it sounds fine. Hadn't put too much thought into it because, like I said, I've had a pretty carefree life up to this point. So I just didn't think I had anything to worry about. And so I just kept on rolling. And it really wasn't, unfortunately, until my senior year when things got crazy and I got kicked in the teeth. And it wasn't even that bad. At first, it was just I had a conversation at lunch with my fellows, and I found out that I hadn't talked to this one lady who was in charge of the transition from music to the education side of my training in the MAE program, and that she was kind of a hard ass, and if you were late and you went to talk to her, she'd be very upset. And I was like, ah, crap, I gotta do that. But that kind of stuck with me because now all of a sudden my brain's like, all right, I gotta do something I really don't want to do. I gotta confront this one lady who's supposed to be a hard ass, and then I have to start actual education classes. And from what I heard, these education classes were not fun at all. And my brain's starting to do calculations and go, okay, this is a lot of work. We're gonna actually have to try here, and we're gonna have to go out of our comfort zone. Is this actually what we want to do? And I don't know, maybe you can make it. I gave up too early, but my brain pretty quickly arrived at the conclusion. Hold on, I don't know if I want to do this. Band teacher? Fuck, I don't think so. I don't know about that, Chief. You aren't getting paid a lot, so you better love it if you do. And I took some of the education. I took they call them methods classes, where you learn other instruments and you do brief teaching with that. And it's like I like one-on-one lessons well enough, but a classroom setting, man, I'm not that socially out. Like it would be a struggle for me. I could learn it, but do I want to? Is this something direction? It's not my natural talents. All these questions start popping into my head, and I starting to get this doom feeling like, uh-oh, I don't think I want to do this. And it was like a switch had flipped. My brain had suddenly realized none of this was worth it, and then classes became so hard because they were boring, one, but now I no longer had this set goal at the end, this thing I was heading towards, where that would give me some concrete. I had no plans. I didn't know what I wanted to do. It was like, well, I'm not quite good enough right now to be a professional studio musician. And do I want to put forth the effort to do that? I knew what that was, and that's a pretty high amount of effort to become a professional ensemble player or a professional studio musician. That's a fairly high level to reach. I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to do that either, because I'd met some people in the industry, and I'm sure you can find your niche if you want to, but it can be a cutthroat industry. There are people out there trying really hard, and it can be cutthroat. And I was like, man, I don't know where I fit in here. I kind of just want to chill and do my thing, but I didn't know what the path was. So, but I was also falling into spending all my free time playing video games, because that was an escape from my problems, and it allowed me to just continue to do what I would do without worrying about too much. So I just kind of continued. I was taking less and less credits. I knew I was at risk of falling behind, and sure enough, end of my senior year, my advisor talks to me, and he's like, okay, yeah, you're a little bit behind, but you could just switch to this degree if you're sure you don't want to be a teacher, and all you have to do is take these classes and you'll get the 4-year degree, and then you can figure it out from there. And I was like, all right, at least there's that. I can get the 4-year degree and switch it to a bachelor's of arts and see what happens from there. But even that, I found myself in a 5th year trying to finish a 4-year degree, with being a super senior. That sentence its own sense of shame. That your mind's reeling. I'm not doing well in my classes. I'm taking the statistics course that I absolutely hate. It's not hard, but it's just so boring, and I don't care. And I'm like, what is this getting me? What is this effort requiring me? My brain's just shutting down. It's like, yeah, no, we ain't gonna try. So I ended up just not going to class for that class, the second half, and I failed the final, and I got an F, and the class failed. Didn't get the credit. All I needed was a D, and I would have. I don't know if it was a D or a C, but I think I would have gotten the credits if I just put like a tiny bit of effort. But I didn't. I failed it. And then that course, and then some science courses were all I needed to graduate with a 4-year degree, and at least I would have that little piece of paper with me for some plans. But at that point in my life, that was too much. I didn't hang, and what happened was I kind of faked everyone, because I was able. you're able to walk across the stage at the graduation ceremony, even if you don't have all the credits, as long you get like a fake diploma, and they're like, all right, when you get finish all the credits, then we'll send you your real degree. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just walk. I plan to finish it at some point. I don't know. And so my parents see me walk, and they're happy. They're like, yeah, we're confident. He's never had a problem before. They didn't really know I was struggling. I hadn't been forward with them. They kind of knew I didn't want to be a teacher, but they weren't too worried about me yet. So there we have it. I get to my 5th year. That's when I failed that statistics course, and I walk, and I'm like, well, I don't want to move back in with my parents. I don't know what to do. I had seen that one of my friends from high school had moved in with a friend, and they had gotten their own house. And I was like, well, maybe they'll let me stay there. And that worked out. First thing I tried. I was like, hey, can I chill with you guys for a while? I'm out of college. I don't know what to do. And they were like, yeah, sure. So I was in there. I was paying my share of rent. Well, it was nice. They allowed me to transition. I didn't have to pay rent for like a couple months, and then before they started charging me, but it worked out perfectly. Well, unfortunately, it started my rock bottom, because my job, I ended up just giving up and being like, all right, I'll just play video games until I figure something out. And I didn't really have any cares. I was alone and independent, so my parents were like, sure, he can do it. He can do what he wants. He'll figure it out. And so I work at McDonald's. That goes on for a year. And I'm miserable. Oh, God, okay. If you're thinking about taking any kind of bottom line job, just don't do McDonald's. Anything else. Anything. Walmart's better. Trust me. But yeah, I just worked at McDonald's for a year, and then one of the roommates in the house got married to his girlfriend and kind of asked us to leave. That was a whole situation, and then it was like, screw it. We moved we moved up 2 states, from Iowa to Minnesota. And yeah, it just kind of started afresh there. It was fun for a while, but that's where I got my job at Target in the overnight shift. And I've been working there for like 5 years. And that's a very brief, brief. I rambled quite a bit there, but there's still more elements that I hope to get into later. But that's kind of like this overall of like, where did I come from? What am I dealing with? How did I end up working at a Target? How did I go to college for 5 years and didn't even come away with a 4-year degree? Yeah, that's how it happened. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll answer them. I'm an open book here. I'm coming around. I'm pretty. I accept everything that's happened, and it's built me towards the point I am now. So pretty well accepting of everything that's happened with my life. I've come to terms with it. So I'm doing well now. All right. Yeah, but that's the origin story. I hope you like it. We'll see what we talk about next time. I'll try and go into how I've been improving since then. What's my 5-year journey at Target been like, and what kind of mindsets am I looking to adapt, and how I've been improving myself. And that's kind of the direction I hope to take this channel. So yeah, still coming in hot. Day 2 of 100. I'm going all the way, baby. Let's go. Peace out.